All right, New Year's Eve, about 10 o'clock. I'm down here at the pond. So you got a little campfire going. Kind of hard to see me. It's dark here, which is which is a good thing. Going to spend the night in the cabin. Going to bow hunt in the morning. The youngest boy, he's on his way over here shortly. He's going to stay here too. But the wife and the oldest boy, they're going to stay at the house. They got stuff going on tomorrow. I got the baby with me. So the baby and I have been hanging out here for, oh man, I don't know, 2 hours or so. But anyway, it's quiet. Unplugged the pipe, so we got the sound machine going and good stuff. Let me see if I can get the baby to cooperate. Actually, she likes to chase little lights, like if you shine a light. So watch this. I'll turn this light on over here. What do you think, baby? Are you sassy? Are you sassy? You're sassy? Well, as my mama would say, that dog's crazy as a June bug. Y'all hang on. More to come New Year's Day. All right. It is a cool morning here in South Georgia, 2025. It's about 44 degrees, which is cool for us. Woke up at the cabin, the baby, and the youngest boy. He rolled in there about midnight. So we're going to kind of keep it still and quiet. Just wanted you to see her. She's coming. You can see her over there, starting to land on them other trees. So if you follow the videos or if you've read any of the books, it's a no-brainer where I would be this morning in the swamp. 99.9% of the time. I don't know why, especially on a New Year's Day. I won't be in the swamp. So anyway, we're going to shut up, sit back, suck it all in, and get back to you. Got some deep thoughts early this morning. God help us. Don't hit the big red button. Here comes the deer. So that was a little spike bug. What he was looking at is hanging below the stand here is some scent. I don't know. You're not familiar with deer hunting? It's like perfume. Anyway, he was looking at that. He could smell it. It's orange. It's like a little orange container. Kind of hangs down on a string. And he was just checking that out. That's what all that head bobbing was about. Probably picking up on some of my scent. So, anyway, pretty cool. All right, it's about 10:30. Oh man, I've been leaning over trying to get as much as her as I can. It ain't going to get too warm today for us. The high is 60, I think. The wind's picked up in the last hour. It's coming down this bottom. It's probably about, thing y'all got to remember is our humidity always stays up. So it's probably like 80% humidity. It was last night. So it's just like a wet, cold. Anyway, beautiful day. Couple of things real quick. At the cabin, the boys call it Cabin Town because I built an outhouse and then I built a shower house and it's got a carport and then we have our cabin. But no running water or electricity. We've come up with some water tank, gravity fed, you know. I didn't take a shower last night. I didn't really sweat yesterday and I was tired. This right here, you will very seldom see that on my face. We're busted. That's a deer blowing. So that's their verbal communication of human. Typically not. They don't hear me, they smell me. Pissed. I don't blame him. I'm in his turf or her turf. All right, so anyway. When I was younger, I wasn't around my mother's father much. He would be my grandpa, but I would never claim that. He wasn't a good person. He wasn't a criminal. He just wasn't a good person. But when I was around him, like holidays and crap like that, he was one of those dudes that would hug you, smash you into his face, and he would have that scruff sometimes. Nah, never had it. Just don't like it. So that's a disassociative memory. So I've literally shaved before with no water just because I don't want it on my face. So anyway, my apologies for that. 5 a.m. the alarm goes off this morning in the cabin. Get up, walk out the front door to use the facilities off the porch. Hopefully you're tracking that program. And boom, beaver slaps his tail. I mean, that's 2025. Hey, Josie, wake up. The beaver's here. So I grab a few utensils, flashlight, note to self, don't take the baby with you with a flashlight. If you saw the earlier part of the video where she's crazy for flashlights. So there I am, shorts, t-shirt, shoes on the dam, 5 a.m. this morning with a flashlight with that crazy dog running around barking and yelling and screaming. And all I want to do is just have a brief conversation with the beaver. But it never happened. So anyway, ate my breakfast, stretched, got out of the cabin. Wyatt's back up that way in another tree. So what we're going to talk about briefly today, had a situation happen a couple days ago, actually in a stand that I did a video in. I inspect these stands every year when I bring them out, keep them in a building, but they're out here for 5 months a year, and I inspect them to make sure the cables that hold this platform I'm standing on are good. And over the years, we've had to replace some of the cables. We start to see some wear, we replace it. So Wyatt stepped out on the edge, and the cable broke. Both cables snapped. Safety harness saved him, 20 foot. Really scary. He took it really well. As a dad, it kind of freaked me out a little bit because I'm the one that hangs these things. I inspect them. I'll show you what went wrong. It's really nothing we did wrong. We just couldn't see in there. So new cables are being ordered to go ahead and replace pretty much it. We got 20 of these around the farm. The reason I want to bring that point up is that when you go into the first responder and military, communities, and you take on these jobs, you somewhat have to come to terms with, I may die. It is what it is. If you don't, it's pretty unrealistic. But when you come to terms with that, then you kind of accept that, life is short, which is not a bad thing, because then you learn to appreciate a lot of things. You can become a negative person, which is not good. But for me, I've always had a great appreciation for life because I think it's going to be kind of a short ride. Now, that being said, when you survive that career in the military or that career in the first responder community, or even in the civilian world, if you have a job that is a little on the dangerous side, underwater welder, farming is a dangerous job. I mean, there's a whole list of this stuff. But once you survive whatever that job is, then you're like, well, holy crap, I made it. I wouldn't think I'd ever make it. That's me. I was kind of wide open when I was younger, so I didn't think I'd live too long anyway. And then I went into a job that, had some dangerous aspects to it. When I woke up this morning in the cabin, 5 a.m., that was the first thought, 2025. Holy crap, I made it. I didn't plan on that. And so that is a difficult mindset. I mean, we saved money, for retirement. I mean, we thought about those things, life insurance, whatever, but it's a hard mindset when you wake up one day and you go, crap, I made it. And I wrote a piece several months ago called Arlington, where it's kind of like an Arlington mindset for our military people. You know, hey, I'm going to serve my country, but it's going to happen, but I'm going to be in Arlington. And then when you don't make it to Arlington like you think you're going to, you know, you don't hope to go there. You're dedicated and driven to what you do. You know, then you're kind of left with this, holy crap, you know, now what? You know, and then you start to think about your buddies and the people you've worked with that have died in the line of duty. And then you kind of feel bad that, well, crap, it wasn't me. You know, and survivor's guilt. 25 million videos we could do on survivor's guilt. But the point of this video is that if you wake up and it's 2025 and you're like, holy crap, I'm still here. I never thought I'd get to here. It's kind of a change in the mindset, and very, very hard to change the way your brain's thinking. But you got to kind of think like next year and next year. And it's hard, but you got to kind of see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And I daily work on this. I do. Because I get in kind of a rush with things like, crap, you know, I don't know how much longer I got. I better get on it. And I'm pretty open about that. But it's important for us to picture, physically view ourselves 10 years from now, 15 years from now. And yeah, we got to be realistic, but we can't live in that very short term. We had to in our careers because that was it. If we lived worrying about all that, we wouldn't go through the door, or we wouldn't go in here or do whatever. We wouldn't walk up to the car, you know. I mean, you just got to do what you got to do. But now I try to think about 10 years from now. You know, where do I want to be 10 years from now with my family? What are my goals, my objectives? And picture that in my mind. I know that's hard, and I'm a guy that struggles with that because I'm like, crap, I may not be here tomorrow, but I still try to work on that. A very good friend of mine says to me all the time, he's like, Jonesy, I'm a work in progress at, 75 years old. And we're all a work in progress. So it's kind of my 2 cents to think about that. So real quick, before we lose you, let's take a spin around. So this is what we call the lower swamp. That deer was back over there across the creek. All right, so down here, just for informational purposes, these cables attach like that. 2 cables. And where we normally inspect is right here and right there. The cables that broke on Wyatt actually broken inside here. So what we're figuring is that over time, water has gotten down in here, and basically that broke, and then that one broke, so the bottom fell, and then the harness caught him. And so he survived. So as a dad, it was a pretty scary phone call, but he took it really well. He slipped one day with his hand and the harness caught him. So his brain already kind of prepared him for that. I'm a rock climber with your hands, and a rock crawler with a Jeep, but a rock climber. So, being in a tree, climbing up rocks, whatever, it's kind of second nature for me, and I kind of get it. But anyway, and you kind of think, well, crap, one day I might fall and the harness will catch you. Kind of like we were talking about earlier, that, you're in a dangerous job and you might die. And we can all go at any given time, but it's just healthy to kind of think and picture ourselves 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now. And I hate it. I woke up at 2025 and I was like, holy crap, I'm still here, man. I made it, but it's hard to beat and change old habits. So who am I today? 2025, I don't know, man. I'm just a happy guy today. I mean, Wyatt's across the farm. We're fixing to get down, head back to the cabin. We're going to get the baby out. She'll probably run around the campfire and bark at everything. The wife did come over for a brief moment last night and just kind of hung out at the campfire with me. The oldest boy, he's been doing some filming for some YouTube guys that have a hunting channel. He loves to film. And so he went with them this morning. That's why he didn't stay at the cabin. And the bride worked late, so that's why she didn't stay, but she wanted to come over and hang out with me for a little bit. So I'm going to do some work today. Happy guy to be alive. It's all good. So give us some feedback, folks. Let us know we're hitting the mark. Y'all have a wonderful day.